Hello, guys of United Rock Nations. We are an amazing company with John and Kitty of Saint Agnes. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Very good, thank you.
So, Bloodsuckers was released a few months ago. What is your feeling about this album?
Feel very proud of what we created. Kitty and I really made a decision to make an album that was as true to our emotions and feelings as we possibly could. We really didn't want to compromise the sound, the songs, the presentation. And I feel like we got as close to executing that as any artist ever feels. I don't think a true artist is ever fully satisfied, but I can still listen to it now and enjoy it, which I don't think I've ever done that with music I've made before.
Yeah.
Kitty, the same feeling?
Yeah, like what we set out to do was like every song was supposed to be a vehicle for emotion, and that was the goal. Like with every song we recorded, all the decisions we made, it was always how can we best serve emotion in this song? Like how can we make this as like real and honest as we can? And yeah, I think we did the best we could have done.
Yeah.
The first impression I had when I listened to the album is anger and darkness. What was your state of mind when you when you wrote the songs?
Yeah, not good. To be honest. Yeah, so the album was created at a very difficult time. So my mum had passed away very unexpectedly, and it was shocking.
It's a huge shock,
it was awful. She was very young, and that's when we started making the record. So all of the emotions I was feeling, and I think anger is a big part of grief, because you're just angry at the world. You're like, why me? Like, why has this happened? And we put all of that into the record, and I think that's why it's so angry. It's so aggressive.
I think all art is a snapshot in time. It's
Yeah.
and I think that as a band member, as a bandmate of Kitty's, I was really honored to get to work on something with someone who is willing to engage so strongly with the emotions that they were feeling at that time. And it was my job to help create as much as I can on guitar and production, a sonic accompaniment to the things that Kitty was talking about and writing about and expressing in the music. And so that particular few months in time that we wrote and recorded that record, it was incredibly turbulent, very dark for Kitty. The relationship between us as a band felt really bonded and strong because we were so there for each other, and we were very much shut off from the rest of the world. And I think that's what you hear on the record, and it is a snapshot of a very dark and intense time.
That means that the next album will be different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We don't see ourselves as musicians as identifying with a specific sound or genre. We just make the music that's true to us, and at that particular time it was really angry and intense, which you could say it's metal, but you know it's noisy. It's just noisy.
Absolutely.
Rock. Like it's
Kitty, would you say that the lyrics you sing and the way you sing is a sort of therapy?
It helped me so much because it gave me a reason to get out of bed in the morning. I was, I've said it in interviews before, but I was either kind of just on the floor, destroyed, or I was making the record. I decided like very early on, because my mum got sick very quickly, and I decided like weirdly early on I had a thought of I have to like make something positive out of this awful thing that's happened. Like I have to, otherwise it's just awful and there's no light at all. And that I used the album to like pull me along in those first few months, like first 6 months really. And like looking back now, it just feels surreal. I don't know how we did it. Like, I don't know how we managed it.
No.
And thinking about the recording of the songs and listening to them, it just feels so strange because I'm at such a different point now to how I was then.
Like, as for me, as a very close observer to Kitty recording those vocals, some of it seemed like therapy, where Kitty came out from recording a song feeling somewhat better, and other songs it seemed like it was just part of a turmoil and a scream of pain that I don't think you could call it therapy as much as just vocalizing what was happening to her in that exact moment.
Yeah.
So tell us more about the writing sessions. I think that, John, you wrote most of the music and Kitty most of the lyrics, exactly?
No, we do everything together.
Oh.
There's no real direct delineation between the two roles. I might come up with a very basic musical concept, but Kitty, or that might inspire Kitty to be like, I would like, let's work on that. I like that guitar part. But then from that moment on, it's rolls. And so Kitty might write a melody on keyboard that ends up being played on bass by me, or who knows. I can't remember who played what guitar on the record, who played what bass on the record. We just kept recording each other and doing things until we were happy.
We're not like precious about things like that at all. Like, we're always just trying to make great music. And so we'll pass the bass backwards and forwards, or I'll take some lead guitar, or John will do I don't know, like, you'll play piano. Like, it's just this collaborative process, which is really like cool.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
It's a positive way to work, because it means as soon as you run out of ideas, someone else is there to step in.
So, but I think that the lyrics came before the music, as I heard. Is that right?
It depends on song to song.
Yeah, and it's different. Like, it's different every time. It just
yeah.
There is no set process that we work.
Yeah.
It just changes.
The only song I can specifically remember the process for is the song "This Is Not the End," and that was because that came late on, and that was a piece of music on piano that I had written totally separately. That when Kitty said, "I want to write a song about grief very directly," that after she had recorded all these angry vocals, she's like, "I want to do something that is different, has some lightness in it, and I've got some words I want to say." And I was like, well, I've got this piece of music I've written that seems like it might fit, and with a small adjustment it did. So I wrote the music,
I remember
Kitty wrote the lyrics. That was the only one.
With that one, I remember going into my bedroom on my own with headphones and literally sitting there and writing the lyrics, like, because you'd written melody even, so I changed the lyrics, I wrote the lyrics and then recorded it in the same evening.
Yeah, it was
all just super quick.
One day of hard work, and it came together. Yeah.
In fact, I had an answer about this song, because This Is Not the End. In the middle of all this anger and darkness, there's a magical moment with this song. It's a different song from the others. So I have now the explanation why. In fact, there's a different song from the others. Tell us more about the meaning of the title Bloodsuckers. Is there a link between all the lyrics, or what is the meaning? Well, I know the traduction of Bloodsuckers, but I think there's a special meaning for you.
There's kind of two meanings. One is that as a band, we've always kind of drawn on this kind of vampiric imagery in our previous EP was called Vampire. The one before that was The Family Strange, which had some kind of dark vampiric imagery. So Bloodsuckers naturally has a kind of vampiric quality to it. But the song Bloodsuckers, Kitty, when she wrote it, we were talking about it, and the idea was that it's about people in your life who steal your energy, who take something important from you, whether it's a parent, a partner, a boss, a friend, a relative, whatever it might be. We all have people in our life that they drain something important from you, and it makes you feel worse and less and ugly. And it was a song raging against those people, and there was so much in the album that felt like it was raging at a person, a situation that felt unfair. It felt like it was taking and taking and not giving anything. The Bloodsuckers felt perfect.
So let's talk about some songs of the album. I selected 3 songs. Well, one of this is not the end, but okay, I have now the explanation. But I love a lot "Follow You." It has a 9 Inch Nails influence in it. Tell us more about that song. I love a lot Nine Inch Nails. So
nice.
Yeah, great band.
So do we. Yeah, we worked with Sean Bevan on that song. He produced it with us, and he engineered and produced 9 Inch Nails.
He engineered the Broken EP and the Downward Spiral.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And we had like 5 names of people we would want to work with, and he was one of them. And the fact we got to work with him was like fucking amazing.
Yeah. It was...
But that was the first song that we recorded on the record, and it kind of set a blueprint for the rest of it. So that was the first one to go, and so we produced and recorded, did everything ourselves apart from that song. And so working with Sean really gave us like conviction to realize we could make a record ourselves.
It felt, going into this project with the mental state that Kitty was in particular, it felt an enormous task to write, record and produce and mix an album ourselves. It felt like a mountain, and we started to have doubts that we were capable. And so yeah, that's why we worked with Sean on the first song we recorded. We're like, let's work with someone outside who we admire and we've never worked with before, who he gave us loads of confidence, because we sent him the demo and he was like, I love it, I don't really see what needs to be changed, just do what you're doing, go for it. There was very few changes. He mixed it and took it as far as we hoped he would take it. And when he sent it back, we heard him, we're like, right, we can do this. The rest of the album, we had belief that if he liked what we were doing and was able to get that mix out of what we had provided him, we're like, well, let's run with this and just close the door, close the windows, turn the lights out, and just to totally immerse ourselves in what we're doing. And Follow You is probably one of my favorite songs on the album. I really, really happy with how that turned out. We're always looking for a way to do something that is simple but unique, and that's one of the ones where the end result really surpassed my initial vision. Like it was perfect. I love that song, and it feels so great to hear someone else like yourself has got something from it.
Absolutely. And about the meaning of the lyrics, so follow.
It's about our friendship, really, mine and John's friendship, because we, like John and Andy, like just were there for me totally during that difficult time, and that's kind of what it's about. It's just about that kind of comradeship and friendship that you get, I think, like only like with band. If you're in a band, I don't know if you've ever been in a band, but it's a relationship with people that's like very different, because it's not, you're more than friends, more than family even, and you're bonded by this like common goal to make something, and that's quite strange. Like that's quite a unique human relationship. So Follow You is about that. It's about like, trusting each other that we will get to this end goal. And it's, when you make music or art, you have to be very vulnerable with people, and it's kind of like exploring that. And
it's swearing allegiance to each other and like being bonded in an incredibly deep, meaningful and impossible to fully describe way. The reason why you write a song rather than just write words is because words they
fail, right? Like words never can really describe a feeling. Like, so yeah, music,
the musical, like the chorus of that song, the melody and the background melody on guitar that's a counterpoint to it, and the fact it's so noisy, all of that,
you feels what we're trying to describe.
And just before we talk about the influence of 9 Inch Nails, but also the videos, there's a lot of lights that reminds me the live set of Nine Inch Nails. Is that the reason why?
Yeah,
Yes,
basically. I don't think there's a better live band in the world than Nine Inch Nails.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely amazing.
You know, the impression that going to a Nine Inch Nails show had on me. I've been to quite a few, and I'm very lucky to have been to a few, and the impression that they had on me was just fundamental in what I view a live show to be. And when I go and see other bands,
so
I'll be like,
measuring by that.
I'm all, good, but not.
It's okay. I'm agree. There's another song I want to talk about is Body Back.
Yeah.
Because there's a guest on it, Mimi Barks. I discovered the artist. I didn't know who she was. Tell us more about. She was involved on this song, and who is Mimi Barks?
Yeah, she came on tour with us. We got her to support us on one of our tours like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's just after COVID.
Yeah. So she came on tour, and we just hit it off, like just gone really well, and just really like what she does, and who she, the person that she is. And
but she was singing. She came on stage, and sang a song with us every night on that tour just for fun. A song called "Repent," which was off a previous EP, and it kind of, you know, by the end of the tour, you've become friends. You spend a lot of time together, and we were probably about 3 months away from starting writing the album at that point. And so we just said, if the opportunity comes up, do you want to sing on something? She's like, yeah, do it. So it's very casual kind of thing that we just knew when we were writing Body Bag, which was intentionally just a minute and a half blast of anger, that Mimi's voice would be great on that as a second verse, you know. And just to kind of show each other some mutual appreciation.
She's a solo artist, or she plays with the band?
She's a solo artist that, when she plays live, has a drummer, sometimes a keyboard player. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about live, about concerts, about shows. What does a St. Agnes concert look like?
It's wild, and it always has been. That's something I remember once. We were playing festivals one summer, and at that time I'd gotten quite into climbing rigging and jumping off of things. And I remember, like, each festival, as the summer went on, we'd get to a festival and the stage manager would take me to one side and say, look, I've heard about you, and don't do that here. Like, always get like a bollocking, like a telling off before shows. So quite chaotic.
Yes, and I think there's two main things that we feel when we play live. One is that with the audience, we used to be really confrontational with the audience. We kind of hate the audience, and it wasn't because we thought they were bad. It was just maybe we were shy, and it was a way of dealing with it. We've really changed, and we feel a real kind of love and togetherness with the audience now that is amazing to be part of. And the other one is, I think that with Kitty's kind of emotional honesty in the music and the way that we perform live, it opens the door for people to experience emotion, whatever it might be, in themselves while they're watching us. So if the song is making them feel angry and they want to express it by going crazy, that's fine. And that's totally there for them to do. And we are up for facilitating that. But also, if someone is watching the same song but experiencing joy, we're up for that. We're not there to tell people, you have to go crazy now, you have to do this, you have to. We just open the door to them to experience it in the most extreme way possible. And we see people in the front row crying, and you know, we see people with big smiles on their faces right next to the person who's crying, and it's a kind of amazingly cathartic.
Like goosebumps talking about it. For our tour that's coming up, the Bloodsuckers tour, that's what we really want the audience to do, is just to feel that this is a night where they can just feel whatever you need to feel. Like, this is the place to come and feel something, you know, work through something. be that like aggression, crazy mosh pit, be it, you know, I've cried at gigs. I cry at our gigs like a lot. So I think like we really want to tell the audience like this is your space to just like let go, I guess.
Yeah.
What are your plans to tour in Europe on 2024 and of course in France? Do you have some plans?
Yeah, we do. We are playing in Paris. Let me have a look.
It's the 6th of February.
Hang on a second.
It's Les Etoiles.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that rings well. I haven't got it right there, but yeah, 6th of February, I think, Les Etoiles.
And then heading off around Europe after that. That's the first show, and then Germany, Austria,
the Netherlands,
just everywhere.
Yeah.
And do you have some festivals planned for this summer? For example, another Hellfest in France, for example.
We do have things, but we can't talk about them yet. We're not allowed to.
But we will be in France.
Yeah, we will be in France.
Okay, thank you very much. Last question, just for my pleasure. From where came the name of the band Saint Agnes? Because it's a French, Agnes, it's a French name, Saint Agnes. From where came the name of the band?
Do you want to tell the story, shall I?
You tell the story.
Okay. We, me, Kitty, and Andy, we all like surfing, which I'm aware of as the beginning of an answer seems like a real like tangent. God, but we all like surfing, and there's a small town in England that has an amazing surfing beach on it called St. Agnes. The beach is a town. It's a village. It's, you know, just a few hundred people. But the surfers that's their regular spot. They're really
they've got a really bad reputation for being like very unfriendly towards outsiders, which I love. And it's nicknamed the Badlands. That beach and surf spot is like nicknamed the Badlands because the locals are like very like hostile. Yeah.
And we just liked that whole kind of concept that just this tiny, seemingly pretty, beautiful town on the coast of Cornwall can have this current of hostility and refusal to accept outsiders. It just felt like something from a film, and we just loved it. Yeah.
Okay, great, fantastic. So thank you very much for all the information about the album Bloodsuckers. We love a lot the albums. So thank you very much for this music.
Yeah.
And 6 February, you just said, in France?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I will probably be there to see you.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, great to meet you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and see you in February. So,
au revoir.
Thank you. Au revoir. Bye.
Bye.